Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Again. I want to say to you something that I hope will kind of move you, urge you on closer to your freedom. This life that we're living, ladies and gentlemen, has a history. And most of us do not really know history. Even us historians, we only go back to a certain point. And then that knowledge that we have that is given to you in school, high school and elementary school, sometimes in college, but you really don't know that much, the masses of the people. And when you get out of school, what you don't know about history, you will never know about history. But it is that history that's so essential. This is why I want to say to you, history teaches you something. And it teaches you to this point, and I'm taking you where it brought me. There is a spirit somewhere out there that's observing this world. And this world has been equipped to do everything that you can think that needs to be done, might need to be done, and all of the things that we cannot think of. And that was done by this power that I'm talking about. And that power has put us here. Now, where we come from and all of that, will have to come to you from another. But we are here. And everything that it takes to live as though we were God ourselves is here. The only thing that it is required is that we act like God. Or we can live so downtrodden until the end comes. And what that is a true expression of is that we have been set here with a mind and a heart and all of this stuff that we need. And we've been given choice. Choice to live a certain way that would produce that paradise, that heaven. Or to live in such a way that this thing is destroyed. And it's all about you, the people. If it's created in wonderfulness, you, the people, did it. You, the people, changed. You, the people, became that, and you created it. Or if it's destroyed, you, the people, did it. You, the people, did it. We looking at our world today, we know we are walking down that backward path. We are constantly saying we're living in those last days. But we're not living in them as though we can fix it, though we can get out of the way of it, that we can change the course. We're living it as though we can't do a thing, and we're just sitting here waiting for something that we have been fed to believe is going to happen. Oh yes, something is going to happen, but it's not what you have been led to believe is going to happen. What's going to happen is what the design has produced is that would happen from the conduct. So I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one way to be sure. And that is have a personal relationship with God. And let God lead you. Yes, work together with one another. But God is the leading force. And when I'm talking about God, I'm talking about doing things that are beautiful. Does somebody say, well, that means I can't go out and dance anymore. Dancing is beautiful. I can't go out and party anymore. Partying is beautiful. Well, I've been taught, I don't care what you've been taught, partying is beautiful. Everything that mankind can do is beautiful except that which takes the beauty out of it. We got young ladies today in videos where these brothers are cursing and saying every kind of despicable things. And these women are doing dances with thongs on and all these kinds of things. Now we know that these ladies love themselves, but they're doing this for the money. And anybody outside, whether they're in the church or out of the church, who looks at that and say that is despicable, well, you can say that, and it might be and is despicable if you see it as that. But that does not give you the right or the authority to put any of those people down. You see, this is an expression of people who are trying to survive in this world where we the people have just followed our evil mind, our unrighteous mind, straight on to where we are at. And rather than see that as a crying out for God somewhere, and if God is standing up above the earth watching us, seeing who's going to come to this rescue, and nobody comes to the rescue, nobody can say that they're connected to God, even though they claim it. But they can't say it because they don't have the evidence. And why are you here? To make the choice. To make the choice. People have made the choice of following unrighteousness, and we're walking on down that path. Those of us who say we're following righteousness, what are we doing? Going to church, giving tithes and offerings, helping the preachers get mega churches and stuff like that. But we're helping nobody. Why? Because we are a part of the problem. We do these things because we have played into the system. The system has sucked the church and whatever it is about in as it has sucked everybody else in. To depend on that which will work for you that you know about. Oh, long time ago, people trusted God. People trusted spirit. But that was usurped away a long time ago. When you start saying, well, the greatest thing has been used is money. Get money, because money will, what you say, you can't get anything without money. Money, you need money for everything, they say. See, they've transferred God. See, God means treating people right. Now, after money, you don't have to you treat people like you want to treat them. Just get the money. And you can still do everything. But just walking on down that path of destruction. I want you to know that you can live. I mean, you can really live just by treating people right. Look about your grandparents, your great-grandparents. Some of them don't even have teeth. Do you know what it is to have teeth? Of course, those of you who got them do. Those who don't so wish they had them. But they only got that choice, and now the knowledge has been sent to give them a perfect smile. Now, the people who came here to give that smile, they came with the desire. The fact that they charge so much money is the system that we live in. It is the system. So what I want you to know, as I've always said, you're living in a system that is anti-God. You're living in a system that says, I know best. And it doesn't care whom it hurts. And that's why everybody follows. Because if you don't, you will be killed and not knowing the truth. Now, I'm going to end this, but I'm going to tell you one thing, and I hope it'll help you. This is for me. This is what the Spirit has taught me. The Spirit has taught me that at my moment of expiration from this earth, from this body earth, at my moment of separation, it's going to be just like having a dream, a nightmare, and all of a sudden, somebody woke you up. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to be transferred from this nightmare because, ladies and gentlemen, this is truly a nightmare. If you care about people, when you see somebody hurting, Chinese, Native American, blacks, whites, anybody hurting, and it makes you hurt as bad as those ones are hurting, how can you accept the fact that this is happening? You can't do it. And you wonder why it happens. It happens because somebody's taking advantage of these. And they have the support of everybody who is silent. Everybody who is silent. Everybody who allows this to happen. And this is what that spirit that above the earth sees. In your mega church, and your rich pastors, and many of you rich right there, and thanking God for what you have done, don't you know, if you were on this side of the fence, that would look like a curse, a spit in God's face. On this side of the fence. I know you justified on your side, but I just want you to know what it looks like over here. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, I want you to be free. I want you to really be free. So, to summarize it, this is what I'm saying. The earth was put here for you. You means all of you. And everything that you need to be fulfilled in this life has been provided here for you. Now, you can't do that and bring that about on your own. ambition, something that you want to do. And doing it is the greatest gift that you could have. And so, come in here. That is the intent for each of you, to employ yourselves. The system must be set up to control how it's done, but it is to include each of you so that you can participate in the creation of all of the goods and services that you, the people, determine that you want. And you do it. And you have the system set up that you can access them when you want. And as new people come on earth with new dreams and aspirations, you can set aside and do those things. Or as you get technology so advanced that machines can do the things that you do now, it only opens it up so you can advance and do greater things. And that's living. Not to be caught up in the stuff that we're caught up in. But you can only get this, ladies and gentlemen, by treating people like you want to be treated. Treating people like you want to be treated. I know that's hard. We live in a world that says no. You find somebody weak, you take advantage of them. That's what comes up in competition. You find a person's weakness, hit them right there. This is not the way of peace. The way of peace is justice. It's finding out what your shortcomings are so you can make them strong. Make them strong. Why? Because now we are stronger. We're not trying to destroy or bring anybody down. We're trying to lift everybody up, build everybody up. Why? Because we are family. We are the creation of that power that sits above, that's watching us. And here we are with choice. And our choice is to do those kinds of things that opens up a flower. So the bloom is so beautiful, so magnificent. And that flower is us. Now can you imagine what that spirit that's watching us can say then? Hey, welcome home. That's what it'll say. The story behind the prodigal son, welcome home. And you will be glad to be home. Why? Because you chose home. Nobody tricked you. You were an individual. No, you followed nobody and didn't really understand what they were saying, but you just followed them in. No. This was an individual decision. You made it. You made it. And now you are home. Because you want to be home. And everybody else, to me, who's still out there, undecided, God loves you and allows you to continue. The choice is always yours. So I'm saying that is what it is for me. That's why it doesn't bother me now. I want it and still do. We love to experience fast cars and flying in planes, not worried about somebody bombing it. I would love to be able to travel around the world and visit my friends around the world and let us all meet in different parts of the world and celebrate life. I would love to do those kinds of things. But I'd have to be part of the 1% to do that. In order to be part of the 1%, you know how much soul I have to give up? You know how much ugliness I have to take into my spirit to even be accepted in the circles? Anyway, I think you get my message. Well, I didn't plan on talking to you today, but my spirit. Let me tell you this before I go. One time, years ago, I was so excited about this message that I've just shared with you. And I went all over Minnesota trying to get people to hear it and see if they could be inspired to make some move in that kind of direction. I even got on the political scene, ran for mayor of St. Paul, Minnesota, against Norm Coleman, the senator. And, well, you know, I didn't win. But I was out there, and I still couldn't, that message could not get caught. Then I decided that let me break the law. So I went and broke the law, broke the statutes, and went to court. I wanted to use the courtroom, the witness stand, to state my case to a jury that could hear it and find me innocent. And that would open up the door for this message to start getting, because it's would be outstanding. But it didn't happen that way. I did the time, but I went inside and I was so shocked at how heartless people were. Till for 40 days, I sat there in that jail. I didn't do anything but drink water. I ate no food. I drank no juice. I just drank water for 40 days. Well, after then, they decided to let me out. I guess I had done enough time for them. So I was back out. So I started eating again. I'm still out here. And all the time since then, I've been sitting here trying to wake you up. And it's been okay to be out here giving it my best. But I don't think I can do any better than what I have done. The only thing I can do now is totally represent everything that I have shared with you, represent everything that I have said that you must do in order to be free. I must totally commit myself to it now. And I know where I'm living. I'm living where that is not allowed. So if God, the one that's standing above this world looking down at us, doesn't block it, because that's the ultimate power, then I won't be around. But if God blocks it, I'm going to be around because I want to see you free. I want to see you glad to wake up in the morning time. I want to see you glad to go to bed at night because your day was a wonderful day. I'm glad to see you. I had my mind on times when you're off vacation. It is such a thrill to see you in my mind. I see you in my mind doing it. This is what I want you to experience. And I want you to, because that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm being fed, and I'm sharing that with you. That means the power outside there wants you to choose this kind of life as opposed to the New World Order and the politics and all that kind of stuff. That should be over with. Somebody said, and then I'm going to end. Somebody said that you have to have bad in order to know good. You got to have, in order to have righteousness, you got to have unrighteousness. Now, I'm going to say that's a bunch of baloney. Maybe there was a time when that was true. But there's something that we can rely on called history. What I'm basically saying that evil and unrighteousness and stuff like that should become history. Why? Because we've learned what the beauty is, what life is truly about, what righteousness is about, what goodness is about. And we have chosen it, and we are walking that way. And evil and ugliness and bad, it can stay over in the corner. we can refer to it on the history book. We don't have to experience it. Not again. So let's do it that way, okay? All right, I'm going to leave it with you. Eddie Marcus, once again, I love you. I love you. I love you. Even though I don't know you, I love you. And that gives me the right, because I love you, to get angry with you sometimes. And if I lose my cool to even use profane language at you, because I love you. But I guarantee you I wouldn't hurt you. I couldn't hurt myself.